them, a must-win for Alpha 7, and a must-win for everybody else on the leaderboards if they want to get a bigger chunk of that prize pool.
With a lot of money on the line, you need only the best to outplay the rest. With dual gaming chipsets and 144Hz AMOLED screen, the GT20 Pro will equip teams with up to 120 FPS, which is also the first batch of supported devices, offering esports level performance and visually stunning experiences in the 2024 PMWC. Let's take a look at where will Reject go? Where will Alpha 7 opt to drop?
Okay, so Alpha 7, drop El Pozo. That's the place they love to be. This is a perfect line for them, but it's also a typical one, right? They know that there's going to be teams hunting them down. Do they go to their main drop spot? Power Grid is where Team Reject go, and you can see them already out of the plane headed in that direction. There are a lot of teams, though, that could look to possibly get close. Now, Boom Esports, they land usually all the way north up there near Torres. So let's see what they decide to do. Alpha 7 are out, headed towards El Pozo, so then they are not changing their drops at all, and it doesn't look like anybody is looking to chase them down.
The circle out to the east side, taking us away from the plane path, doesn't cover a single bit of it. El Pozo will be where Alpha 7 are. Twisted Minds currently on that Los Higos split, down on the South Islands, where we saw pretty crazy turn of events yesterday,
right.
But we're definitely not going there. That's guaranteed. There's still an option, though. There's still a potential for an island finish.
For sure. Well, this is actually, you see Boom going to their secondary drop spot. They're going to be going all the way towards Impala. So they're going to be able to try to hunt down some vehicles and get on the move. Yeah, if Boom Esports does win this game, they could be definitely in contention for at least second place. I think first is a little too far away at this point, but right now it is really just up to Alpha 7. The pressure is on them. If they get some good points here, it could be all over.
All eyes sent their way. It is so much pressure. And it's something they've crumbled on before as well. It's not like this is their first chance at this. Every single time, Alpha 7 have fallen prey to it. Have they finally conquered their demons?
Oh, that's the question. Because, I mean, I talked to their coach, I talked to Kurajax, and he told me specifically the only thing that could stop us is us. That's it. And to be honest with you, that has been the problem with them so many times. They start off so strong. And, you know, for the past, what is it, like 5 events, when they start off the day in first place, they end up coming just short, right? Well, this, it looks like 6 times the charm because they are poised to do it here. But it is on them. They cannot afford a 0-point game here.
You take Alpha 7, you sprinkle in a little bit of Magrelin magic, right?
Ooh.
And maybe the souffle rises, right? That's potential for them in these last 2 matches. With an 18-point lead, it is still a substantial difference, right? They still do have quite a bit of buffer. They were granted most of that, to be fair, by the fact that Reject also didn't do super well in the last match, both of them going down very, very quickly. But it reduces the opportunities for Reject to do that again. They are on the road. They're heading out east now from Power Grid.
And it's so crazy to watch these teams, the changes that they make. You know, Alpha 7, they have such excellent resources available to them. They've been putting in so much work. I got to talk to, you know, Kurajax last year during the mid-season tournament, and they didn't perform the way they wanted to. He didn't end up being the coach for a little while afterwards, but they brought him back on, and they seem to be just firing on all cylinders here. You see Alpha 7 going for more central type play styles, which has worked out very, very well from them. Not being overly aggressive, because we see sometimes a lot of teams, when the going gets tough, they revert to their comfort, right? And for some teams, it's aggression. For some teams, it's just pure passiveness and turtling it up. Alpha 7's one of those that's just been aggression, right? They're just, let's just push everybody. But you see them now a lot more calculated with their pushes. I hope they don't just go too far the other way here, because they need to put some points on the board now.
Absolutely. I mean, what we always look for in a first-place team, right, is to be around that 10-point average, or at least, you know, knocking on the door of that. At the end of today, they'll have played 18 matches, which would be 180 points, right? They are 40 points behind that, and that shows you just how contested those spots are. if it wasn't as contested, they would have more points. They would be able to balloon that lead just that little bit more. But they're the only ones even thinking about a 10-point average right now. As it stands, it is so closely fought. It's tooth and nail. And it's once you get to that 18th match where you really do get a sense of a fully discrete table, right? Where teams start to really lock in their position relative to everyone else in terms of strength. And that is what we're closing in on with these last two matches.
Well, speaking of closing in on, that's the big battle, right? Because we want to see who is going to be the first PUBG Mobile World Cup champions here at the Esports World Cup, right? So that's the big storyline. The second, though, is there is a massive prize pool in this tournament. Let's go down all the way to 12th place.
Okay.
That's Team Liquid with 82 points, right?
Yeah.
That's only a 14-point difference from 4th place.
Ooh.
How crazy is that? So, 12th place, what's the prize pool?
It's 45K in 12th place for the main tournament, and 4th place would be 110K, which would mean that it would be a 65K pay jump.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, we're in the last two matches here. Every single one of these teams need these points desperately. I mean, 12th place can easily make that jump to 4th. For 14th place, it's still possible. They want to do well both these next games, right? But, I mean, anybody can easily steal that 4th, maybe even that 3rd place spot away from Boom.
Hey, you know what I want?
What's that?
I want Power not to finish last. I think they've got
Let's go, Power!
I've been a big fan of this team. I think that they are definitely a surprise to be here. They qualified through on EMEA, and they were able to jump up as I think the host nation representation. The host country invited the best performing team of Saudi Arabia in the EMEA tournaments. They did have quite a lot of strength in those tournaments. I mean, Blank is Al-Haji's biggest fan, and I can see why. The guy is really strong in these tournaments. He's able to get a lot done. It has been unfortunate that they haven't quite had the same amount of luck. They finished 9th in the group stages, right? This is a team that definitely has got the chops to push further up those tables. But right now, it's not quite there. They're 10 points behind Alolex IHC. I think they can do it in these last two.
They definitely can. We just saw a nice little finish there from Stoned on Vampire Esports. We're looking at the crowd. You can see them chuckling a little bit here because they could definitely make that big jump towards the money. We talked to Sertani. He was looking for a top 8 finish. A 3rd place finish would be definitely nice, and it is within reach. So they're starting it off strong with a nice elimination off the rip, and you can see teams on that move. I wish we could look at the map feed right now because Alpha 7 is making the most safe rotation I have ever seen them make.
This is crazy right now. They started in El Pozo.
Look at it. Look at them.
And they're currently near Torre Ahumada. There is nobody within 3 kilometers of this.
They went all the way around, and that's smart. Oh! Are you kidding me? What a shift. It would not be a championship round if we didn't get some circle toxicity, baby.
Oh, let's hit the water. Bring your swimming trunks, Jukes. We're going to the coastline. It's Impala. And it is Tianba in there already. They have got a lot of control there. DXavier going to look to push on in, and this is going to get spicy. The northern rotation in, still a little bit more open. Opportunity for Vampire to sneak in on that northern edge, as we're seeing on our screens now. They could potentially find the north point of Impala. Down from the south coast as well, you've got Twisted Minds and IWNRX, both going to be competing for that coastal road. Boom are already Impala. Vampire are making their way in. DXavier want to be neighbors, and look who's also trying to purchase real estate there. It's Team Liquid.
Everybody's looking for the high ground right now. They're trying to hunt down the highest point in the map. You can see the crowds on their feet. Sertani is staring at the screen, excited here to see his team make something happen.
Oh, dear.
Oh, but Pondbit shuts him down with a nice knock, but the rest of the team is right there to support him.
Yummy is already gone as well for Boom. They're playing as 3. Pondbit survives for the time being, but there's the off angle. There's that third party from the high ground. You can see Newsy there on the top left of your screen. Tony K ascending the stairs now, wanting that flush. Frenzy and Razy. They were able to do something as a duo in the end of that final match, but against the Vampires, with the Xavier around the corner, with everybody else crunching their way into Impala, it's getting a little bit scary for Boom.
Oh, Tony K getting the finish on the pawn bit. That's 2 players down for Boom. And honestly, if you are Vampire, that's the main squad you want to be able to knock out. And Tiamba, though, from all the way across the map, you're going to see Schweppes throw a smoke out. Oh, almost got the finish there. That was too close for comfort.
That door frame just about saving his life. And Vampire can continue as 4. They have buildings, which is really important. Reject have gotten a little bit closer to this circle. They're still on the edge on the northwestern side. They're not getting embroiled in this Impala nonsense. They know they need to bide their time, but Alpha 7, same story. They're now starting to push their way in from that northern edge. Nade's going to be traded between the buildings. I'm assuming that a lot of these teams who are inside Impala now are going to have to figure something out in these next few circles. It's pretty likely that it does finish over towards Impala. I don't think that it's possible to end out on those islands out to the east, which means it's almost certainly a mainland finish.
Oh, that would be sick.
It would be.
But I will tell you what right now, this is the worst case scenario for Boom Esports. They're down 2 players already. They're surrounded by 3 teams that want to take them out more than anything. You got Tiamba up on top, who are in 6th place. You got Vampire in 7th right next to them. They're the ones that got those 2 eliminations. And D Xavier in 8th right next to them. So these are all 3 squads looking to hunt them down. Power getting a knock on to D Xavier.
Let's go.
Trying to climb their way from the bottom.
I would like to see it. I want it to happen.
Not last place. Not last place. Let's go.
That's a bit mean. That's a bit mean, but I like it. I like it a lot. Vampire still, though, going to be holding on. Things have started to settle down for the teams already in. They've figured out which buildings are theirs, which buildings are not. They've established their zones of control. It's on the teams on the outside to make things happen now. You've got DRX on the west trying to push on in behind Power, actually. So potential for something to pop off there. Alliance and TJB from the southwest also going to have to scrap with one another to approach the south end of Impala. 4MV and Twisted Minds clashing on the road towards the south side, and Alpha 7 have managed to get towards that coastline.
Well, folks, get on your feet. 2 seconds left to go, and the circle's starting to close. 4MV need to find their way in there. You can see the big screen letting everybody know that this zone is closing, and where is it going to go? That is going to be the question on everyone's mind. Boom are stuck in between a rock and a hard place here. TJB need to find their way into this next circle. And, of course, you got Team Reject right there on the edge. Alpha 7, very quiet, but they found a way to be pretty much dead center of this next circle.
Yeah, this is actually huge for Alpha 7 right now. Remember, they don't need massive performances to be able to secure their spot. They just need something, right? You get 5 to 8 points in a match. That is so impactful towards the top of those tables, because it just means that Reject need huge ultra banger games, right? That's what they're looking for, and it just is so difficult to make that happen in this sort of a lobby. And with the safety that they've been afforded by this, teams are really not going to be able to push them from the western side. It's Alula XIHC, again, who might ruin their day from the northern flank.
Yeah, let's see what happens, because, I mean, right now, every single one of these teams desperately need points. They want to be able to get that huge chunk of that prize pool, especially considering Boom is almost down and out here. They're in a really tough spot. If this zone goes anywhere away from Impala, they're not making that alive. So let's see. See, Frenzy's got that pan locked and loaded. Say, oh, what's that over there? Just in case. DRX making some shots onto Power. And Peregrine, it's up to him to kind of lead the way and find a way out for his teammate.
Twisted Minds. Look at where they've gone. They're all the way out on that east island.
Look at that.
The circle's just about to pop. This is a real hedging of bets from Twisted Minds, right? If it goes to that island, they win the game, right? It's so unlikely to happen. I don't think it's even possible with how the circle's going to work. I think it's going to pop back towards that mainland, but it might still go to the coast and keep 50% in. It's a little bit over there, so we are not going to have something wild. But this is interesting. Are Alpha 7 going to be thinking about Twisted Minds? Are they going to have seen this rotation, and are they going to be caught by surprise by it?
Well, let's see what happens. Twisted Minds are going to have to make their way across the water. Alpha 7 getting knocked by Tiamba. Are they going to be able to get that res? That's the question. 4MV could make a miracle run up these leaderboards here. They cannot afford to go out now.
The miracle run on the cards, right? But still, with as tightly packed as this circle is, I think their way in is shut. I do not think that they've got a chance of getting through this.
They have
You've got
to take this
Talent
fight
to get
now.
through, you've got IWNRX to get through, you've got Alliance to get through. There's no way you can go around the edge, but you can't go through the water. I mean, maybe you go for a swim. Just gonna get taken down. Tiana have had this high ground for a long, long time, but they are starting to get challenged on it. They're pushing out to actually deal with Team Liquid, and I kind of like this. I like that they are continuing to keep presence on the sidelines.
Yeah, they're putting that pressure, they're putting the cranks on Team Liquid right now with these nades. Oh, that bounce looked really good. TJB, we're out of it, so 4MV do win that fight. And yeah, Team Liquid looking very hurt right now. Tianba, they understand the position they're in. They are in 6th place and gonna absorb every elimination they can get their hands on.
The thing I'm still looking at is Alpha 7.
Right?
Twisted Minds swimming across an Aloletics IHC, who took them down in last match, are looking to potentially do so again. Twisted Minds are still making that swim, so still a potential for a weird backstab coming through from Twisted Minds on the eastern edge. But it's gonna be pretty tricky. And remember, Twisted Minds, another Brazilian team. Could they ruin their countrymen's chance?
Well, I would not put it past them right there. Twisted Minds have been looking to make a name for themselves in this one, and they could easily jump up to 3rd place here. Will they make things that much more difficult for Alpha 7? That's going to be the question. Twisted Minds, coach, big man behind the scenes is none other than Dadino. Oh, so a former teammate of Carrillo from Alpha 7. So you know this guy knows what it takes to make it all the way to the top here. Twisted Minds playing this very safely. Does Alula ISC even know they're there in the water?
I don't think they do, because they were further north than this. Alpha 7 might have been able to scout it, but it's almost certain that Alolex IHC have not been able to scout this, which means that Godless is playing for a position to fight uphill, right? The question is, do Twisted Minds want to go for it? Because as soon as they take the shots, even if they take down Godless, immediately it's completely open. They have no cover. They go down, right? So you cannot take that fight with Godless just yet. You need to find a way up, because that cliff is pretty sheer.
It is, yeah. So I like the fact that Twisted Minds is playing this very quietly here. They don't want to just let their presence be known just yet. And because they want to see where this next circle goes. If it goes right here, then they could possibly pop out and make some moves. If it doesn't, maybe they have to make a different entryway on into this next zone. Where does it go, though? Does it center up? Do we get another crazy hard shift? Let's see.
Come on. Give me something. What do we got? Okay, Alpha 7 in the middle. That hilltop that Tiamba hold, also a major feature of this one. Vampire's position held, but Reject not.
Team Reject on the north side here. They're going to have to push through Vampire. And this fight, Boom is just going to hold on. They've been very fortunate to be in this now. Oh, next circle, but one more player from Boom gets down. It is not looking good for them. It's looking good for everybody else right below them, though.
Satani on the cams. There he is.
There he is.
Here's a look.
Hey, give us a wave.
What a smile.
Give us a
what
wave.
a guy. We love to see you. Thanks for turning up. Watching your team support. Of course he's watching. What am I saying? Of course he's out there. Repping the Vampire brand. You're up in the top 8, Satani. Do you think you're going to be able to go further? I think so.
That's what that point was right there. It's like, hey, top 8, I told you. I told you. Right, let's see if they could get even further up, though. That's going to be the question. Uh-oh, Twisted Minds are now spotted. Alula IHC going to start going fishing here, as it looks like Ratto Boy on the other side.
Go on then, Ratto Boy. Get something done for your team. Alolex IHC know you're there now. Might as well.
Obscure is stuck in a really tough spot here.
Do they know he's there? Could potentially get a little bit further around.
Joe's looking the wrong way.
Oh, this could be dangerous. If Obscure can actually get out here.
Oh, they got him. Found him. So that...
It's all up to Ratto Boy now.
It's all up to him to be able to try to make something happen. Wait, can he get up the hill?
I hope he can. If not, that's disastrous for Demo.
Look how safe these teams are playing it, though. Alpha 7 are very happy to just stay in the compound. All they know is they just got to put in some points. Team Reject got to get moving, though. If you want to become the next champions, you're not going to be able to do it with just placement alone. You need those eliminations. It's Twisted Minds out of there.
Ratto Boy found. Okay. No more fun for him. Alliance, they're trying to make the crossing. Talon, DRX, IWNRX, all of these teams on the south side now starting to get shut out. Tianba with that high ground have great sightlines to do so. They're looking to pick up a whole hefty chunk of points there, but so is Fadan with a 1 versus 2, first with a spray down. So it's can't quite give him that quarter though. And Power do fall again. They got 3 limbs, but they'll be drawn short here.
Take a look now. Will Alpha 7 start to get busy with it? That's going to be the big question there. You can see Team Reject stalking the rest of this lobby. And look who they got their eyes on. None other than the team that they're hunting down.
Oh yeah, Ragey OCO now has the sightline over towards a little slice of Alpha 7. But it is far from heavenly for them right now. They are in a fairly central position. Tianba have got quite a lot to say about this position as well. The high ground can potentially come in to be quite important at stopping Reject from moving further and closer towards Alpha 7.
This is going to be a close one here. This is going to be a close one. The zone is starting to close. Where is it going to go? Will it head towards that central position? Will Alpha 7 get blessed once again here in the end game? We're about to find out, and the zone does center up once again.
It keeps Reject in as well on the north, which is crucial. Both of these two teams locked in this eternal struggle will still have a slice of it. The teams from Impala are going to have to leave. Vampire, they are in a difficult position now. I think it's going to be a fight between Vampire and Reject that could change the course of this tournament.
This is so close. Talon need to make something happen as well. Talon are in 5th place. They're down to 2 remaining players, though. Every single one of these squads are desperately needing points. Tianba are in the best position, though. They've moved up to 4th place. 7 eliminations. They're hunting down Boom.
They have so much sightlines as well. They can take shots to pretty much everybody in this lobby, right? So such a high elimination point scoring potential for this team. They are 8 points behind Boom. They are 23 points behind Reject. 41 points behind Alpha 7. How much of a dent can they put in that?
Alpha 7 have been dead silent this game so far. They were able to make that ultra-safe rotation onto that compound, and they're not moving a muscle. You could see Mythic's dad watching as there's only 1 player left up for Team Liquid. They're going to have to make it happen on the last game of the day. Meanwhile, Vampire starting to creep up onto Team Reject. Reject now are going to have to start to get active.
They have to hold Vampire out. Vampire don't need to pull the trigger just yet. They can bide their time for a little longer. They have got a little bit of the circle. Out on the west, DXavia, DRX, Team Liquid. Not so lucky.
Tianba with that high ground. Man, they are utilizing it perfectly here. 8 eliminations. They are playing their game. They are not changing it up here towards the end, and that's exactly what they needed to do.
The thing I'm worried about for Tianba, ammo. Ammo is going to be an issue for them. No teams have been able to push up towards them. They've kept them at arm's distance. How much ammo have they had to expend to do so?
You know who hasn't spent any ammo, though? It's Team Reject, right? They have been very, very quiet here. They're ready for this endgame battle. DXavia are starting to get mighty close to Tianba. What could Sean do? Sean trying to clear his back out. Boom. Razy, the last player up for his squad, is just trying to snake any points that he could get.
This is an unbelievable shrink onto Alpha 7 for the circle. They are so happy about this. It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be special at this stage. It just needs to be there. Tianba racked up to 9 eliminations now. Shan, his own little crevice. Argent, and they not quite able to find their way to a shot towards it, but QZ goes down for Tianba. And they're going to need to go for the res here. Bond is the closest to respond and should be able to pick his teammate up.
I will admit, this is the perfect situation for Alpha 7. Alpha 7 are just big chilling in the center of zone. They really are rock stars when it comes to positions like this. When are they going to pop out and start taking some shots?
Circle.
That's the question. This next zone is going to be critical for them.
It's going to pop through. Vampire engaging now with Reject. The team from Japan that is catching the breath of every Brazilian fan out there. Have a challenge now from Vampires because the circle goes away from them and slap bang onto Alpha 7.
Worst case scenario for Team Reject. They got to start making it happen. They have to push everybody. Which way are they going to go? It looks like they're starting to head away from Vampire. and looking to find a way into this next zone. And the easiest path is going to be through Alula IHC, but Vampire right on their heels.
This is dastardly. Vampire are going to need to take the same rotation. There's no way that Reject can avoid this fight. I think they pitch up now, they go for it. This is their time to show what a championship team is made of.
Let's see if they could do it. This is actually a perfect scenario for them, to be honest with you. They're playing Edge. They are the best gunners in here. They got to be able to soak up elimination points, even if they want to have a chance at beating Alpha 7. And you're going to have to do it here and now the hard way. Alpha 7 haven't had a single elimination. If you're able to take out Vampire now and push them, it'll work out. But we can see Vampire looking to finish out Boom. They are done for a 0-point game. No. And now Team Reject are getting knocked by Alpha 7.
There's shots from across the way. Reject are trying to go through. The attention of Vampire was split for just a moment, but Boom are away now. The res needs to come through. Duello and acting out very quickly onto Sarah. The nade over on there. That Molotov is brutal. Sarah's still down. Regi's half HP. Divine is there, and it's being lit up by Alpha 7. The ridgeline is being rested, and Reject denies! The door is closed, and Alpha 7 pick it up. Elation for the Brazilian fans. Is it now? Is this the hour?
You can see the Alpha 7 folks in the crowd getting so excited. This is that time. We could just crown a champion right here and now, especially if Alpha 7 finish this game strong. They're in the perfect position.
They have got so much to play for here. With their history at their heels, they run from time itself and will try and immortalize themselves now. With 2 matches left to play, they've taken away their closest competition. Reject and Boom have both fallen. Tiamba on the high ground have to descend, and they are not looking in good shape. It is such a chance for Alpha 7 to turn their history around.
Alpha 7 looking to finally break that curse that has been looming over them in half and become our first PUBG Mobile World Cup champions here at the Esports World Cup, live in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The only team right now that could definitely be a big problem for them, it's got to be our last mid-season champion, Vampire Esports.
And they are sweeping through on that western side. They're looking pretty good here. Alpha 7 don't need to get a chicken dinner. If they do, it's excellent. It's basically done and dusted. But even with the performance they have now, they're into a top 4. They've got some elimination points. That gap is looking unclosable. But with Vampire putting up numbers, that second place for Reject is in danger.
You saw Sertani point at the camera. He's liking what he's seeing right now.
Okay.
Have I spoken too soon? Zol with a nade onto Schweppes. That can make things difficult. Nade. Smokes are starting to ring out. Will Alpha 7 leave the comfort of that building and start taking action here? This could be a big opportunity for them.
Godless gets across, now playing 2-on-2. Ziol with the contact, wants to sweep wide. Demo blasted back down the hill. Hits the reverse stick quickly, but Nuzi goes down. His helmet taken off as well. Ziol wants to capitalize, and Vampire are being slowed down by Alolex IHC. Trying to contest over the top of this ridgeline, and the P-cups are hard because Alpha 7 will have the off angle. Spray down, coming on through, and the nade over to push him back.
And here comes Alpha 7. They hear these shots. They know they want to third-party this and take this championship here and now. This could be a perfect opportunity. They're going up the top side. Vampire are going to be in a 4v2 situation. This is definitely Alpha 7's game to win.
Tony K now will hold off against Alpha 7. Godless goes down. They're holding their back. There's a flush as well. Schwepp gets knocked in the meantime, and Tony K can't hold. Stones is out. And now just one player for the Vampires remaining. Can he hold his nerve? Tony K to stop Alpha 7 in their tracks. But they are still putting so much damage into this lobby. As Vampire go down, third place, Alpha 7, 4 players. Can they get the res onto Revo and claim the top spot?
The nerves have to be at an all-time high. This is where Alpha 7 struggles the most in history. When it comes to the last game, the last moments, it is so difficult for them. But it looks like they may have just finally crossed that hurdle. And you know what Carrillo said? Revo, take a break, buddy. We're going to win this for you. Let's see if they can do it, though. Uh-oh, Mafioso in the wide open gets knocked.
McGrellan with the challenge,
Gets
Bazio
knocked
with
as
the off
well.
angle. This is perfect play from LOLX IHC against Alpha 7 at such a crucial time. It's up to Carrillo now. Can Ziol hold his nerve? A 1 versus 1 for Carrillo to take the chicken dinner and potentially secure the title. No! LOLX IHC deny them that opportunity. 5 chicken dinners is where Alpha 7 will stay, but they've got points on points on points, and Reject get nothing.
Oh boy, Alpha 7, I think they could have done it just right then and there, but we got one more game left to go. And we saw down the leaderboards, a lot of points being able to be soaked up from these mid-pack teams. So I'm not going to be shocked to see these leaderboards shaken up once again.
With LOLX IHC getting a huge chicken dinner, by the way. I think they were in the mid-teens of eliminations. To be able to put those points on board, that is going to accelerate them up into that central peloton of teams and into the final match. There's a lot of money that's going to be wobbling about up and down, team to team, but eyes are locked